Hello everyone. I have reason to believe that this might be something like chapter 43. In any case, last session, the patrol that the glorious interrogators were on board got attacked by the Eldari demanding to speak with them face to face. The interrogators decided that despite disagreements in the party, the prevailing opinion that won out was, fuck no, I'd rather not be captured by elves. So, they opened fire. Unfortunately, the elves proceeded to yeet a light cruiser that they were on. I believe someone even had to burn a fate point, because running through the collapsing halls as the enemy land strikes were landing wasn't a good time. However, things proceeded, and the enemy fleet was whittled down until the last ship has offered its surrender, and is willing to answer their questions, if they will come on board to ask them. The party has agreed to this in their infinite wisdom.
What? The Eldari are in no position to demand shit.
Now, Temujin, you know very little of this. Most of the battle, you can't remember.
Negotiated peace, man.
You just remember being on an escape shuttle and having the taste of smoke in your mouth, missing one of your grenades, and several bullets from your normal gun for some reason.
Nice. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Adolphus, now I definitely do see what you mean when you say that, yeah, you really can't fucking blame Demi. Like, Jesus Christ. This man's just salty because he doesn't get jokes.
Then it happens to everyone. Everyone gets old eventually. Usually not in their 20s, but still. So, currently, like I said, the Eldari are willing to receive you on board and answer your questions. They have done the kind deed of supposedly yeeting their once captain after he went to them one time too many during the battle.
So wait, the last session ended with basically the party agreeing, let's go on the fucking Eldar ship.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
After, putting Eldar ship in a position where if they try anything, they're dead.
Yeah, but we're also on that ship.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
We're taking a risk.
Unnecessarily, but okay.
Not really. We need the information they have. They have information.
They do in theory have information, that is true.
Yeah, we're bringing 20 and 30 guys. They have like 60 agility each.
Are you implying that 30 Imperial soldiers can take on the few hundred Eldari that are left on that ship?
Oh no, that seems like more doable odds. Well, I hope you're ready for another shipment of fucking shurikens.
Delivered to our faces directly. No cost added.
So when you went to the bridge of the frigate, the rest of the interrogators were like, where the fuck were you after the battle? The explanation I offered on your behalf was that you were helping defend the ship.
Yes, exactly. What the hell were y'all doing? The fucking ship got exploded. Were y'all doing your jobs?
Depends what you mean by our jobs, but yes, we were all doing something.
Also, I don't know if it's just me. Adolphus is massively lagging.
It's certainly robotic. You can see him die a little inside when he hears that.
Oh well, time to turn on the proper PC. I wasn't expecting.
Why? You specifically got a PC to not have this.
Demi, when did your class begin? Didn't you say like fucking 5?
No, that's the one class. This is 7 lab.
Oh.
Literally starts at 7. I want to kill myself.
Okay, so
That's fun.
are there any questions you would like to ask Temujin about where he was, or are you ready to start planning how to prepare for going over to Deldari's ship, which is still trying to move forward, but the problem is that there are now 6 sword class frigates that are sort of fanning out behind it and keeping pace at, you know, their normal weapon range. So there's not anywhere to really go, per se.
I mean, yes, fair enough, but if they do something to us while we're on their ship, what are we gonna do? Tell them to blow us up?
Yes.
Bro.
Are you not ready to die for the Emperor?
I'm not ready to die because of a fucking stupid decision.
That sounds like you're not ready to obey orders. Is that what you're saying?
That sounds like you just agreed with me that, or well, like you just stated that the orders from the Emperor were stupid.
See, you're thinking like an Eldari.
Yeah, no, that sounds like some elvish trickery to me. Twisting my words against me, questioning my simple faith in the Emperor like that.
Also,
So
I
we
didn't-
execute Temujin first, then the SD.
Let's listen to Demi, he has short time to speak.
I wasn't aware you were scared, Temujin. I thought you were a trained killer.
Well, I may be a trained killer, but there is one thing bullet cannot kill. It is bigger bullet.
Aye, that's a
from
fair point.
space. I'm not scared of the Eldari. I'm scared of our own ships.
Oh, don't worry, they don't fire bullets. You don't need to be scared.
Fair enough. They just vaporize you instantly. No pain.
Well, they have to get through the shields, and those shields are down.
With that many guns, definitely.
Okay, so who are you taking? Taking the Space Marine, I assume? Yourselves?
Yes.
And another 25 random ratings?
Yeah. Should we bring storm? Oh no, we don't have stormtroopers here. Yeah, because that's on our ship.
Yep.
So
I'm
there's
sorry
just
to say,
Imperial Guard
Boo,
here?
we decided not to bring the death-wielding death machine with us on the ship full of Eldari.
What?
Because of the fact that he'll probably start shredding the moment we get on board.
Would he do that?
I mean, if he was gonna do that, he wouldn't have let y'all fucking. Oh well, he would have just.
He
told
was
y'all to
waiting for us
evaporate.
to send the boarding parties. The entire time. And then helped people get off the ship. Because we didn't send the fucking boarding parties.
I'm sure that a Death Watch indoctrinated Space Wolf wouldn't go berserk when boarding a Space Elf ship.
Yeah. I see it as a good opportunity for loot.
Lute's dead.
So effectively, the space elves were like, we're willing to negotiate for our surrender. They didn't surrender unconditionally. They were like, you want information? Okay, but we know what happens when we go on board Imperial ships, and we would rather not get tortured to death. So you can come here and we'll answer your questions.
Yeah, fair enough. But you know what is an interesting thing that I noticed? They said they wanted to give us information. That they didn't say that they wanted us to keep them alive. Anyway,
I like
yeah,
how you rule lawyer. I like how you ruse lawyer. Fucking implicitly implied statements. It's beautiful because that's exactly what actual lawyers do all the time.
never been to law school. What was I gonna say?
You should change major.
No, I like it here. Fucking first or two of our assignments is literally making a fucking tabletop game. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think we should then take the Space Marine. Kinda didn't realize that he would probably just massacre everything.
Okay.
This feels weirdly silent without Demi like speaking constantly.
So what are the rest of your thoughts? Space Marine, yay or nay?
Nay.
Mm-hmm. Adolphus?
Yeah, I'm pretty against the idea just because I don't want to risk this going horribly wrong.
Okay.
Guy that took out the fucking key card of Mechanicum's design inside the servitor held base.
Hey, look, technically, if you think about it, Adolphus is the one that got us the Space Marine. Because he pissed him off so much that he managed to pass through to our timeline.
I mean, it is the truth, ironically
Yeah.
enough.
It really do be.
Okay. So Space Marine gets left behind and you mass deputize as Acolyte's 26 ratings.
Ah.
And load upon the shuttles and prepare to head over. Are there any other precautions you would like to take?
Well, I'm wearing my power armor.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm wearing my regular.
I agree
armor,
with
which is
Demi,
just body work.
Voxcaster.
Yeah, yeah.
Power armor comes with boxcasters.
Or
Oh yeah, it does.
That's a heavy power armor. You're
Yeah, but he
thinking of.
has heavy power armor.
if you're inside the hull, unless you actually find an airlock, you're gonna have a tough time transmitting out.
Also fair. Well, Jackaload, looks like you're the fucking imposter.
What?
We need to send you out the airlock to send a message.
I don't know, Arminius looking kinda sus.
I really do. But, I mean, then Voxcaster really don't make a difference, so we have one, we don't really need to bring another one.
Alright.
Bring some grenades, y'all, because they probably have grenades here.
On board the ship, with troops mainly meant to be fighting, defending that ship, not that many.
Fair enough, yeah. Everything, all of our equipment just on our ship.
Okay, so you sort of one of the frigates sidles closer and spews out a couple of shuttles as you start heading towards the wrecked wraith ship. As you approach, those of you who have Cynesians can roll for this.
Whisper, whisper, whisper your facts.
I don't
Whisper,
have
whisper,
Cynesians.
Your Psyker you can roll as well, minus 20. And this is flat.
Oh.
Those of you who don't can roll either awareness or scrutiny. Auspex does not help, because you're looking out into space.
Flat or...
I'd say...
Because I'm guessing Sinisians is a bit better than awareness
This can be
at
flat
at
as
this
well, you
point.
would get different information.
Fair enough.
Okay. The two of you see, as you're heading in for the landing bay...
Wait, Jackler, you're not gonna roll?
I'm loading into the game.
Oh.
Wow.
Jesus.
You took your sweet time with that.
Well, the two of you with awareness notice that there's maybe 5 figures next to one of the big gashes in the ship's hull, sort of kneeling down on the hull with their hands splayed on the wraith bone next to where the rent starts.
Be right back.
They seem to be doing something over there. Can you see that?
The massive Vulcan shark emplacements track you as you come into the loading bay. And you are allowed to dock without any trouble. Inside, there's a number of Wraith Guard and a large contingent of Eldari with shuriken catapults. The armor on some seems to be either singed or scuffed, but they're all standing at attention.
Have you ever seen a more wretched hive of scum and villainy?
Yes, I have been to Scintilla.
All right, I'm back.
Hello.
So we saw a person leaning on their hull.
We saw 5 people, and one of the giant gashes on the hull just kind of like on their knees, hands on the wraith bone, like doing something. And now we're on board. We see 2 wraith guards and a shit ton
there
of
would be
regular
like 4 or
Eldari troops
5
with
Wraith
shuriken
Guard.
catapults.
They are not taking
I
chances.
mean, fair enough, but you said currently 2.
Said a couple.
No, I mean, couple usually means 2, my bad.
In this context, it means enough.
Yeah, I get you.
So we saw 5 frozen dead Aldari probably on the outside of the hull. Weird.
You would have expected them. Yeah, you don't pick up anything, Jack Lord. Frozen ones would have probably drifted off. These were probably maglocked to it.
Okay.
Inside, yeah, there's maybe 40 Eldari troops, plus a person in fancier armor, standing sort of in the middle of a semicircle. And behind the group there's another 4 or 5 Wraith Guard to add beefiness to the group. It's clear that they are unsure whether this is going to turn into a firefight.
I'd like to attempt to properly greet them in Eldari.
Okay. What kind of tone are you using? Because Eldari is a language, from what I understand, with a lot of nuance. What kind of an attitude are you trying to convey?
Very respectful.
Okay. Roll linguistics Eldari at -10. You cannot see the cringe on their faces as you mangle the language and its subtleties, because most of them are wearing helmets. So you step out of the shuttle in your heavy power armor. You can feel the tension in the room. The Eldari, they stand like honor guard, the kind of honor guard that is ready to lower the shuriken catapults and turn into actual guards at the drop of a hat. The figure in the center of the semicircle waits for you to approach. There's a brief pause when you attempt your introduction and a slow nod after the cringe has been fought down. You're muted.
By the way, when it comes to speaking, not it.
I'm literally the only one with any Eldari, so I think I'm
They
stuck
hailed
with
us
Jop.
in fucking Gothic, though, right?
No.
I mean, I don't remember Chris saying that detail.
Last time their captain hailed in Eldari,
Ah, okay, fair enough then.
and then they hailed again. I'm not sure if it was in Eldari or not, but that was after he got supposedly killed. And suffice it to say, we were kind of distracted by that point, and I was
Fair
still
enough.
doing most of the talking.
You
Fair
can
enough.
attempt Cynicians again, as you are face to face with this particular space elf. It is gonna incline its head and tell you in Eldari that you may proceed inside, and if you are willing, they will discuss the specifics of matters that interest you both in equal numbers in a meeting room. So you four plus four of them, presumably.
Guessing 3 Wraith Guards and him. I mean, yeah, that's... Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's fine by me, to be honest. Well, makes it easier. Somewhat.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
That's a trap.
Yes,
I mean,
we know.
but I'd rather at least have some room with less people than, you know, more than 40 fucking Eldari in a room.
I mean, if they want to kill us on board, they're going to kill us on board regardless. It doesn't matter whether or not we have a bunch of ratings with us or not.
Yeah.
So, let's go with the fucking...
The tense
plan.
they used was one of making a great concession when offering to meet you in equal number face to face.
I'll try to make it very clear that we're very thankful and show deep respect in my response.
Make a linguistic Zelda roll with -10, please.
Neither am I, he is. Oh,
Never, Demi, be happy we have no idea what he's saying.
true though.
Yeah, they're gonna nod again. A bit more. You can read, like, they're unsure of themselves now, like, alright then.
Was the first time a slip of the tongue?
So, they're gonna lead you inside, and they're gonna request that weapons be left outside, and that as a concession to you making an effort to show proper deference, they will restrict themselves to one warlock in the meeting, since you only have one psyker with you.
Fair enough.
They're asking us to leave our weapons outside the meeting room so that it is far less tense. And they will return in kind.
Uh, okay. Where do we put our weapons?
They're gonna, like,
If it's gonna be equal, they're gonna have weapons, and so are fucking we.
I mean, they're literally disarming themselves and they have fucking better weapons than us for the most part.
Looks at Sanctus Hammer.
there's gonna be like a room, and there's just like a big table, and they're just gonna start slowly putting their weapons on it, one by one, on one end, and you can do the same on the other, so everyone can see that, yeah, no, it's cool.
Icon of the Justice and the weapon, right? Force fields. They don't count as weapons in this case.
I don't know, do they?
I don't think I do. So I'll just leave the Sanctus Hammer and the last pistol.
Can the icon of the just be used as a weapon? Okay,
Nope.
they're not gonna come.
It's
They're
just a
not
force
gonna
field.
comment on that then. Gonna go in the room. You see that there's like this area of the wall where just a spider web of cracks go out from a single point. I'm just gonna sit down on one side of a square table, leave you the other.
Alrighty then. I mean, are they gonna start speaking? Are we gonna start speaking? Like, we can't speak Eldari, only Adolphus can, so.
It's up to you. For the moment, they're not saying anything. Waiting to see how you react.
I feel like we should ask them what information they have to offer.
That'd kind of be a waste of a question. We're going one for one here.
We are? I don't think that was implied ever.
It was exactly implied.
Chris?
No, was it?
It wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't. They don't have anything. They don't want anything from us. We want stuff from them.
Well, they want us to let them live.
Exactly. That's what they want. No, they don't want our information. Stop being dumb, Adolphus.
So the Monkai discuss among themselves, trying to decide what to ask. The elves just watch.
Just ask them what they had in. Just ask them. Fuck, I forgot. Just
How
ask them
about this?
who we are talking to.
Okay, I guess I can do that. I'll ask them who they are in a very respectful tone.
Now they're gonna rattle off their names and ranks. They're all in service to Craftworld Kaelor, I think it was, in this area of space.
Okay. What did they know about Arminia's movements?
Adolphus, do you translate that? You're the filter. You can, at least as far as you know, decide to pass or not pass on any questions from the others.
I'll state my name, and rank as Inquisitor, and the others' names.
Wait, you're an Inquisitor?
Well, I'm sorry, not yet. No, misspoke. We're basically Inquisitors now. But,
Hello.
Adolphus
Fast
is
done.
trying to figure out how not to offend your space elf hosts.
Bro.
But yes, I'll state all our names and ranks in kind to show deference, and then relay his question.
You wish to stop Arminius. Bring him to Imperial justice, yes?
Part of the plan, yeah.
We do intend to do so. He is a heretic, and he is attempting to commit atrocities that are unknown to us in their full extent.
Why then did you not accept our invitation to discuss these very matters before?
The others seemed hesitant to accept your offer due to the nature of being sent across on board potentially adversarial vessels in a situation where they had no defensive capability. And I made the counteroffer to your captain of just sending myself, because I'm the only one who can actually speak Eldari in the first place, and I have all the same information as the others. And he refused.
If I can just ask out of character, since I haven't been part of this conversation since I had to deafen myself, what language are you speaking on? Are you speaking Eldari or something that we can understand?
We're conveying an Eldari because they don't speak fucking High Gothic.
Ah.
I'm having to be an interpreter.
Okay, so you are actually relaying some information. Okay.
Yes. You're aware at least of their questions and what I'm going to say in response, for the most part.
Let's do this. Actually, use one of the rerolls for that. Okay, good. Good. You have all at least brushed up against the powers of the warp. That is an issue if we're gonna share any of this very sensitive information with you. I must at the very least know the reason for this and how this happened.
I'll inform the others of what he's asked, and then tell them that I'm going to explain the recent events of the last 2-3 weeks of
The-
our investigation.
Before you do, and if you're going to inform us first on Low Gothic, I'd probably say, before we delve into our sensitive information, perhaps it might be more prudent of us of one at a time. It seems more polite to me if they're asking for our sensitive information, that they offer some of their sensitive information on Arminius.
The thing they said is because we touched the warp, this man's gone.
They
Would you-
want to know that we can be trusted with that information.
Exactly. But he's not here, so you know.
So we're going to presume that there's a discussion among the interrogators, like, you can't trust the Xenos, they're fucking Xenos.
Jackal, or do you have any objection? If it's just Demi, I'm just going to go ahead.
Hello.
Basically, Demi, you didn't understand that they want to know why we were touched by the warp. If we're not, they want to know that we're not corrupted before they start sharing any information. They didn't really ask for any vital information before that.
They want to know why we're fucking affected by,
Yes.
you know, all our malignancies. So that they know that we can be trusted.
I don't know, fam. That sounds like sensitive information to me.
That's redacted by order of His Holy Inquisition.
I'll proceed to explain our findings on that planet. On Mara.
Okay. They're gonna listen intently. Do you give them the details of the machine and what you found inside it?
While I have a somewhat good understanding of how the machine works, I'd rather not fully detail the machinery. I'd rather avoid that and instead give at least a basic outline.
Okay. They're eyeing all of you with kind of an, you think it's an evaluating look, like, just how far can I push these Monkai before they try to bite my face off? Very well. Before we discuss further, I will share something with you. As a sign of good faith, the tense is as if speaking to a spoiled child, but trying to, mollify it so you don't end up with a tantrum. Several years ago, we ran into acolytes of Arminius, and we endeavored to convince them to carry a message for us, encouraging Arminius to abandon the path he was on, because based on knowledge in our possession, we are aware of how such efforts usually end. Unfortunately, he did not listen to us, and here we are.
Fuck.
I'll
I can't
Yeah!
remember our encounter.
I'll relay this to the others, and then mention to the others that I think they're speaking about the events around that ice planet.
Oh no, that was later on. That was them. You would know from the case files that right at the very start, some of Arminius satellites did end up running into Eldari, who did try to tell them to, hey, don't.
Yeah, didn't we nuke a cruiser there?
No,
Was
no,
it
that was
encounter?
much.
That was
much
around the ice
later.
planet.
I'm
That
talking
was
about the
the
one
later
that
one.
happened in
That's
the
right, yeah.
prologue.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
holy shit.
We had like 5 interactions with fucking Eldari during the prologue. I don't know which one you mean.
It was inside a cave where I think only Demi's character
Mhm.
survived.
Survived
And,
again.
Oh right, the one where we were trying to escape an ambush when we walked into a cave that
Yeah.
used to have orcs in it.
So
Mhm.
here's the fun part out of character. The dude that went postal and tortured Demi's character was the captain of the ship.
Aww.
Karma hits.
Yep. Though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of sad that we never really faced any orcs in the campaign properly.
Do not.
You're right,
We did in the
actually.
prologue. We did in the prologue.
Yeah, but I wasn't there.
Sounds like a you
No,
problem.
Jackalor loves orcs, Demi loves orcs, Bo wants to meet orcs.
I do not
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I do want to meet orcs.
Orcs,
Genuinely
orcs,
do.
orcs.
Yes. Orcs. I want to meet my fungi boys.
But yeah, as far as you can recall from the reports you read, this does match. This does seem to be truthful as far as it goes, based on your briefing and interrogations.
Then I'll relay that to the others as well.
Mhm.
I feel like a good question to ask is, ends in what?
Go for it.
What?
Because they said that the warning they gave Arminius, his acolytes, to give to Arminius is that it always ends like they know how it ends. So how the fuck does it end?
Do I need to roll lore forbidden lore mechanicum to tell him how it ends, or
You
can I just tell
guess
him
how
how
it
it
ends. You
ends?
know about the cat.
I mean, I'm also thinking from the perspective of our interrogators.
It's pretty obvious how it ends. It ends with a very powerful fucking demon that feeds off of their stupid quest.
Question
And
that
them finding an extremely corrupted vessel that's probably going to get them all killed anyway, even if they do manage to complete their task.
a question we can ask. See, they've told us about Arminius and Arminius bad and Arminius goes for this, right? Should we maybe ask a simple question of, are there any other threats similar to this besides Arminius? Because they might not know about the Harlocks. They're kind of in the same boat.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Demi?
And basically, ask the Eldari to see if, besides Arminius, are there any like large threats? Because they might not know about the Harlocks, and we can maybe do them a little. How should I say this? It's a win-win situation if we tell them about the Harlocks, because they might do something to stop the Harlocks too, which in the end benefits us as well.
That's a good one, yeah.
And we show them some trust by showing other enemies that are,
I'm gonna assume that a lot of this is happening muttered in Low Gothic because you're discussing among yourselves in character.
Oh, no
Yeah.
doubt, it would be.
At this point, by the way, Those of you who aren't busy translating can roll scrutiny at -20, because you're all still wearing your helmets.
So
I'll
everyone-
relay this to this question of Yemi's to them.
That is an interesting track to take. Yes, we are aware of several.
I'm not really sure what we should roll. Can you
Scrutiny
repeat
at
that if we need to roll
-20.
anything?
Those of you who aren't translating.
Gotcha.
So is that only Jackler and
You as well, Demi.
Boo?
Ah, come on.
Alright.
63 out of 60.
So scrutiny
Anyone
minus
who's
20?
not me.
Oh. This
Demi,
lens.
the others don't seem to notice. Those are sitting very quietly, and you think you see tension in the way they're set, like they're trying not to lean forward. When you speak in Low Gothic, you're starting to get the feeling that they all understand it and are just playing you.
Well, time to do a little joke. And just basically go to the others and like, so I know we're in an important meeting, but wouldn't it be funny if some of them understood what we're saying? And I'm telling that to us.
You know, Demi, doesn't everyone but Boo have a helmet on with not Foxcasters,
Microbeads.
microbeads built in?
Aren't we still whispering, and wouldn't that still require us for that to happen? They'd still hear us
You
one
would
day.
have to transmit it in that case if you just sealed your helmets. But expecting them not to record
talking to
all
them
of this
through
and
the
at least break into it later, it's come on.
Yeah, so either or, I feel like they're gonna hear us, so just break the fucking ice instantly.
Okay. So he tells you that wouldn't it be funny if they could understand us when we're, speaking Low Gothic?
Do they have any reactions?
Not that you can notice.
With that roll.
Sadly. I mean, we rolled that before you said anything.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
You, Demi, there is a little bit of a leans back a little when you say that, but you're the only one who notices.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll just sort of, lean back and watch them a bit, and just give, just sort of give them that, little,
Okay.
for the time being.
What about you? Are you aware of any other threats that are seeking these secrets?
To be honest, I feel like we should bait them in with something quite shocking spoken in High Gothic, of course.
Nah, do it in Low Gothic.
Or whatever, Low or High Gothic, whatever we're currently speaking in between each other.
Ironically, they probably wouldn't understand High Gothic, but none of us fucking speak High Gothic other than, like, 2 of you, do they?
But nah, like in Low Gothic, say, like, nah, we probably shouldn't tell them about the Necrons. Some shit like that. Or like, should we tell him about the third demon Arminius summoned?
Okay, I understand Meaves. How much of that is in
Or
character?
needs to do that. Really none, because my character didn't notice jack shit when did they like flinch back
Yeah.
or anything when fucking Demi's character said that, so it would not be in
I
character.
mean, he's tipped you
That
off
would
that
have
they
to be for
might
Demi. I'm saying
understand,
that
so
as a
you can
suggestion.
just, take a wild stab.
Educated guess. I mean, this is still out of character. I'm asking for opinions.
Speak in character. It's up to your dude if they want to participate. Also, Jacklor, in case you're trying to talk to us, you are muted. And have been for a long while.
We are aware of at least 4 different groups that are also going after it, in addition to Arminius.
I suggest that you pass on the message to these groups, to whatever extent is in your power, that it's a bad idea and they shouldn't do it. Perhaps I should use smaller words. Big prize in mousetrap. Snap hand off. Sector burn.
I'll chuckle at that and then say, while I respectfully agree, I think it would result in the same result. And to be honest, I'm fairly certain that they would at least vaguely be aware of that by now.
That's what you think. BRB.
The problem with these types is that they're stupid enough to think they can rob the mousetrap without setting it off.
Yes, they are looking straight at you.
Anything happen while I was gone?
More snide comments.
You're servants of the Inquisition. However, Inquisition comes in many varieties. And he's gonna switch to low Gothic at this point. I am curious to know where all of you stand in terms of being willing to work against the greater threat. Even when it means working with those you would consider rivals under normal circumstances.
That's some proper heresy right there.
Do we want to go up the radical slider without being inquisitors?
This is the moment in the game where the dialogue pops up. Roll initiative, ally with Eldari.
The thing is,
Well, now that we're
this is
speaking
essentially how
low
fucking-
Gothic, I have to go
Okay.
for a second.
Oh,
I'll be back in like 5 minutes at most.
okay.
I mean, yeah, this is basically how Armenia started fucking going down.
Yeah, basically. Let's not do that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We will not ally with any aliens.
You put me in a difficult position. I would like to aid you, and I certainly don't want to die on this ship. But I would rather not set the entire Inquisition chasing after things best left alone for the good of everyone.
You mean the thing that's
Sorry
killing?
about that.
Jacklor, go on.
You mean the thing that's killing all our
If
planets?
Arminius had listened to our warnings, that wouldn't be happening right now.
I really doubt that.
And if I may ask, what about the other individuals that have been deemed as threats? Did they listen?
They will be dealt with as soon as resources allow. We are cleaning up your mess, Monkai.
Now, I don't want to be overly offensive here, but obviously we're stepping on a lot of toes here. Now, you noted that Inquisition can come in many forms and varieties. Is that the same for you?
After a fashion.
In that case, I feel like since been given this opportunity, so to say, to not step on each other's toe in the future when resources demand so, you want to stop this threat and we want to stop this threat. But obviously, we don't have to work together to stop this threat. However, since we're already here, how about we continue with this sharing of nice information? We do so and go our merry ways. We don't track each other down, we don't hunt each other down, but if we come into contact again, well, we can fashion what happened just a while ago again. Sounds like a fair deal?
Not until I hear the specifics.
And I'd like to do that with you too. So, with that, I'm not sure if we're just gonna go through some information
wish to
going
know?
or. Well, for the first part, since they've mentioned multiple threats and stuff like that, I'd like to actually inquire about that, and obviously
Oh,
we can
play
share
it
our list
out.
as well, since we're killing the same people.
Because how, you ask, matters a lot with touchy arrogant space elves.
Now, since we have at least agreed to this part, I suppose, let's start with the most basics of things. There's enemies on all sides who want to deal with things that they're either too zealous to go into without proper caution, let's say. And obviously, you know some enemies, we know some enemies. So, why don't we put out a list of who those enemies are, and we know who to track, and so do you. Good enough?
That is reasonable.
Okay then. So through that, like we know some of the facts, including if you want to go with the demons and stuff like that. Um, are are they basically the same? Do we just confirm that we're like fighting, having the same enemies, or do we actually find out something about somebody who was
They're gonna
unexpected?
give you info about two efforts among the Mechanicus. One based out of Styges and one locally sourced to secretly send elite ships to recover certain prizes that must be stopped.
Oh my god, remembering that they had a fate point, it's probably the one Mechanica shit we shot up, huh?
Effectively, it
I think we're actually aware of that just because
you're
of the
aware that that
interrogations.
exists, but they can actually give you
Not to what
ship
involvement.
names that have been, ships that have been assigned to this, and prominent tech priests that are supposedly part of these conspiracies.
Good, good. That's
They
wonderful.
are, however, not aware of the Harlocks. once you mention those.
See, it all comes together. Family reunion against any people's enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll detail the treacheries and evils of the Harlocks.
They will also consider Inquisitor Ilias to be on the warn off and prepare to destroy if he doesn't listen list. Yeah, they would
are
mention
they mentioning him?
once you
Yeah,
start
they
going into
mention-
details.
And we definitely know that he and Arminius had beef, essentially.
With all due respect, Ilias went against the wishes of the entire Inquisition. He has gone outside of warning off territory.
So you suggest that we ignore our policy of avoiding escalation with the Inquisition and simply destroy him?
He is in violation of the wishes of the Inquisition, and for all intent and purpose, a heretic. I do not think most of the Inquisition would at all mind you dealing with
That sounds
him.
like something you do not necessarily have the authority to declare, since you are merely interrogators.
That's true. The simple fact is, everyone's, how do I put this? Tiptoeing around it. No one wants to explicitly say that he's done wrong yet. But we all know
Adolphus,
what
you
he's
guys
done.
in theory do have a writ from Inquisitor Caden, which is like, you know, whatsoever this person does is done for the good of France, you know? So you can just slap that on the table and be like,
I know.
actually we do have the authority. Just, I'm not saying you should,
The
but in theory, you could claim that, hey, we're acting on behalf of the head of the conclave. This is legit, he needs to go.
do not give that information out.
I know. I'm just trying to express the sentiments of the conclave when we left, which was mostly try and avoid that.
I see. Perhaps, if an arrangement could be made with your superiors, confirming that this is indeed the desirable outcome, and perhaps arranging that Ilias be at a isolated location at a convenient time, we would be willing to aid you in this necessary endeavor.
Out of character, that ain't gonna
Only
look
if you get
good.
caught.
Not at all. Yeah, no, because even if it's a rogue heretic, just a heretic, it's kind of you remember like the Rome series, like he was a consul of Rome. That's the sort of feeling I'm getting.
He was an imperial inquisitor! An inquisitor!
Here's
We
the
deal with
funny
him.
thing. Here's the funny thing, Demi. All Inquisitors technically have the same rank. None of them have authority over each other, technically.
That's fair. It's more of the
So it is exactly that situation. Anytime an Inquisitor does something that's not allowed.
it's more of the fact that we're letting Xenos deal with
One
imperial
heck of a
issues rather
smoke
than
cover.
imperial
Eldari
itself.
snipers couldn't be helped, he never stood a chance.
Yeah, fair enough. I see that.
Very well. So we have handled the preliminaries. What have you discovered so far about the network that Arminius is trying to tap into?
Glance at the others. They don't know about that fucking ship.
I'm trying to remember.
That's just what I'm thinking about at that moment. Not saying it.
I'm trying to remember some details because since it's been a while.
Same.
What we know of the network is that it is an attempt to create a way to travel through the warp without needing to use ships. And that the home planet of an ancient human civilization is connected to it and is in the depths of the warp, and that an arch heretic seemingly is on board that planet.
And the Inquisition as a whole is aware of all this?
The Inquisition is a system that generally tries to avoid people being aware of things that don't concern them. So, while the Inquisition itself does have the information, generally most won't be aware of it.
You can all make scrutiny checks at -10 this time.
Fuck it. I'm going to see about rolling. Can I get? Actually, I'm not sure this would apply. Would clues from the crowd apply here?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, then I'll just reroll.
Okay.
Hey, let's go.
Both you and Temujin realize that just then your lives were hanging by a thread, because if they thought that only you knew, oh boy, they would have possibly just yeeted their ship in order to make sure that you didn't escape.
Yeah, I know. That's why I worded it so vaguely but carefully. Because it's technically true that the rest of the Inquisition does know, but it's also technically true that they hide most of that information from the vast majority of the Inquisition.
They're all gonna stand up in unison. If you will excuse us, we need to confer in private, and no doubt you'll wish to check in with your ships. And they start heading out. Yet.
We didn't die. True, but
You are led back to the hangar
something.
bay, where most of the soldiers you saw previously, they're still there. Make me an awareness check. If you... Yeah. Auspices do apply.
All of us? Yeah.
So with aspects, right?
Ooh, Jesus. That's a crit fail. I'm gonna re-roll that because I do not want to notice something that just gives me insanity
You
or
seem to the
something.
infinity circuit. Ah!
You know what? I have a beautiful fucking ability that allows me to succeed at awareness checks through the use of fate points
Which
to
is?
my perception bonus
Do you need?
degree,
Okay.
which is 4.
So, both you and Demi, well, all three of you would notice this part. There's space elves escorting you, but other than that, don't run into a whole lot of people moving through the corridors. And you, Temujin, it's subtle, but you're pretty sure the doors are opening more sluggishly and the lights are dimmer on this ship now, ever so slightly.
Uh-oh. Reactor.
But you're allowed to go to your shuttles and transmit back to the ships if you wish.
I think we should stand a bit farther back away, depending on how close we were in the first
I mean,
place.
you seal yourselves inside the shuttle, and you're yeah.
No, I mean, I'm saying to the ships.
They'll acknowledge and fall back to the edge of their normal weapon range. Should be far enough unless they literally yeet the warp drive.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure, but this is just more of a precaution. Is the ship that we're returning to, do they have the ship currently like locked on? So just in case it tries to, go somewhere, activate its field, that we can still notice it.
I mean, technically they're all, keeping careful eye on it, but they also they're not like, let's end this meeting. They're like, let's take a recess, you can transmit back, tell them you're still alive kind of thing. So, you can seal yourself inside the shuttle and discuss among yourselves if you wish. But the implication was that they're gonna figure out how much to tell you and then you can meet again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Once we're in the shuttle and it's sealed off and there's no chance of us being overheard by Eldari, I'll say they're probably not even aware of that fucking ship.
Quite possibly. But we can't really be sure, can we? They could be hiding, just like, well, we are.
He spoke as if Ilias was going after their, that weird webway system knockoff.
Yes, but have you considered they might be lying?
They might be, but at the same time, I am inclined to think that they wouldn't be that stupid. Especially seeing as how we already know about Arminius.
We do, however, have the reports of Arminius and Ilias, and if I remember right from the reports, Inquisitor Ilias was on that space station, so caution is still a good tool here. He might have found something out.
Ilias was never on that space station.
He was.
Which space station?
The one where the fucking demon host is.
Was.
Didn't Ilias just fucking leave Scintilla after hearing about it?
He was on the space station with Arminius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck, right.
That's why caution
I'm
is
mixing up two rogue inquisitors.
You know, it's a good campaign when it's like, oh no, the other rogue inquisitor.
What was the other rogue inquisitor's name? I don't think we even got the detail of his name. Boo's character just fucking let everything
Yeah,
slip.
I don't think you ever got his name. He's just out there, somewhere, doing whatever.
Like, our bosses would have told us because of the fact that my character kind of realized that there was probably something like that going on. And then they eventually fessed up to one of the
No,
Inquisitors
Boo's
fucking,
brain got wiped.
basically going rogue
So that
after
one I'm
hearing
pretty sure
about it.
got away clean. He's gone off on a secret mission, but nobody necessarily knows that it's about this. That's what's so wonderfully fucky about it, you see.
Okay.
Now, before we go back and the whole break finishes, is there anything else that we'd like to inquire quite heavily about? Perhaps, for curiosity's sakes, since they seem to be heads over heels for Arminius, they might even know his current location, some form of path or some form of way.
Yeah, probably.
We could also press, since they do seem to be hamstrung about it, how dangerous these Harlocks might be. With any form of luck, they might prove to be a nuisance for them if they ever locate them.
Like
Might be
having to
right.
work with Xenos in any fashion.
Oh, I'm not working with Xenos. If I see them again, I'm start shooting. This is more of a implication since we're already having these deals.
And I would like to say
And
that
I
I feel
don't
like they're
like
setting
deals with
something up.
Xenos.
Jesus fucking Christ, do you people love, interrupting others? I. Thank you. I would just like to say that we should pay careful attention to what they say because I think they're tampering with their ship a bit. It feels like they're using less power doing something with the reactor or something that is happening with the reactor.
We can check on that actually. We've had,
Probably should.
we can go and do
Because
a
I
quick.
noticed the doors were moving a bit slower than usual and the lights were a bit dimmer than when we came in.
During the battle, I've done a few lock-ons. I can go and see the data logs and see if we hit anything nearest the reactor.
Uh, if we didn't, that means they're doing something to the reactor.
Are our quote unquote acolytes still
Yeah.
on board the ship?
They're still guarding the shuttles.
Um, but in the meantime, I think I will take before the recess stops. Do want to actually go and check from the data logs from the lock on, and if we still have any sensors working, and actually just essentially do a see if what was wrong with their ship if we actually did hit
It
anything
does not
near
have
the
a
reactor.
dedicated reactor as far as the scans are able to determine, but there were multiple hits slamming into the engine section.
Huh? But I feel like that'll be way too primitive for the Eldari to use their engine as their own power source as well.
It might just be that the section we went through has been completely depopulated, and so they're just lowering its fucking needs.
Could be, also could not be.
But why would they then take us to that section to, have talks?
Because the fact that there's less risk of us overhearing shit.
The optimistic view here is they're so damaged that they have no other choice. If you go for the more pessimistic view, they might be doing something.
They might be channeling power to
Taking you on
something a
one
bit more
last trip to
dangerous.
flavor it down.
I fucking
Wait.
love that.
I wasn't able to notice anything, but you mentioned before that there were some individuals on the hull trying to sort of kneel and stuff.
Yes. They were kind of they looked like they were worshipping the construction of their ship.
That's perfectly normal. Every tech priest does that to comfort the machine spirit when it's been wounded.
But these are
No,
Eldari.
but that's the no. It's not even Eldari. That's the thing, fellas. I think they're trying to make a getaway.
In
Think
what
about it.
way?
Think about it. They're repairing the ship. That's understandable. If my ship was damaged too, I'd like to repair it. But here's the thing: they're in a scuffed situation. Let's say they've been beaten. We have weapons locked on them, and they know that they're Xenos in our eyes. They might be working on possibly with these negotiations, maybe in a positive way, if we want to say it like this, attempting to help us. But what if it's just stalling for time? That power might be redirected somewhere else. Maybe they're trying to get somewhere.
You did fight
Escape
pretty...
off our range.
Maybe they also want to take us fucking with them. Because we're still on.
You did fight
We
pretty
need
close to
to-
the Mandeville point. Maybe close enough.
And that's my suspicion. I think they're trying to do a quick immaterium getaway, let's say.
Where you get that way?
Baba Booey, Jack.
Would we
If
have any
so-
idea how long it would actually take them to repair
No clue.
the ship somewhat?
I feel like no, because it's Eldari fucking tech.
Unless somebody has Eldari lores.
Mm.
Because we have the logs to at least know how fucked
Pretty
they
fucking
are.
cool. If they run their engines above 50%, they risk cracking the superstructure in half.
Which is why the repairs are happening.
I mean, fair enough, but wouldn't you be repairing your ship ASA fucking P?
But look at the situation. But look at the
honestly, they should be
situation.
repairing their ship regardless of
Exactly.
while we're doing this.
Exactly.
And how after the break and going back to our ship, how many hours have passed?
After the break and counting discussing back on the frigate and flying over, maybe hour and a half. Definitely not a whole 2 hours. So it's been a little while, but it's not to the point of, okay, they're fucking with us. Not for sure.
I mean,
I'm mostly putting out the suspicion out there.
I was gonna fucking suggest trying to sneak in to see if we can surmise what they're doing. It's not really valid, is it?
Just crouch
Eyes are gonna
down,
be
50
locked on
Eldari,
us.
like, wait, what was that? Must have been the wind in unison.
With howling. However, there is
They see the door open. They see you come out. Hey, stop! You crouch. What was that?
there is one way if we want to be subtle about it and check our suspicions. They're heavily damaged. It's gonna take take them some time nonetheless, right? So one of the things we could do is simply go back, have a conversation, and see how long it passes since they asked for the next break and reconvenience. If they try to keep pulling that move on us, it could very well be stalling for time. We still need to get as much information out of them as we can. So this is a additional thing just to keep in mind. That's it from me. If anybody else wants to another theme or add something else, feel free to.
If you think they're going about this in this way, perhaps we should imply that we would like to conclude this rather quickly.
If I were to add one more comment, I suppose, on the situation, We've seen how arrogant they are. And if you were a beast who was also thick-headed and pushed into a corner, what would you do? You either fight back or find some clever way to fight another day.
Knowing them, they'd
have
probably
some
try and do it at that very moment if we forced them to. But
What did
they'll
you
be
wanna
in
say?
a much more inopportune moment if we do.
What did you want to say, Temujin?
Well, yes, they might be trying to find a clever way to live, but that clever way to live includes getting some nice hostages if we fucking stay here while they do it.
Which is why we must be cautious, I suppose.
We really do. We need to urge to end this as soon as possible.
Do any of you know how Eldari ships work?
I vaguely am aware of how their stuff works to some extent.
Now, I don't need an accurate. You don't need to be a tech priest about this, but how long do you think the Eldari would take to repair their ship to at least a flyable approach?
You can make a common lore
Hmm.
rogue traders with -10.
Ooh.
If they put all the crew they have
Nice.
remaining on making the ship flyable, not flyable well, but flyable, they're probably able to re-enter the warp right now already. If they were focusing the absolutely crucial systems for that. Problem is, it would have to be a normal translation, which means it would take them at least half an hour to get their, Giller field set up and actually translate. And that's rushing it.
I'll
So,
inform the
the
others
lights
of
suddenly
this.
brown out, you know what to watch for.
So, Mortez, I think if you are still suspicious of that possibility, which I agree is a good suspicion to hold, knowing the Eldari, then we should try and push the issue as soon as possible. Because if they're
agree.
going to try escaping with us in tow, then they'll have to do it while we're on board.
I'd agree. And due to that fact, I wouldn't want to go on board. So I think while they're taking a nice break with some of, I don't know, Eldari recaf or whatever they drink, perhaps some soothing news about maybe not wanting to go out of the very purposely placed mousetrap we have with our weapons aimed at them, well, I think it puts out a nice message.
Okay, so you have an idea of all the wonderful things you want to tell to the nasty space elves that are clearly plotting something. The break ends, and one of the ratings informs you that the filthy Xenos told him in Gothic that sounded like it had been learned from a pirate based on some of the language he used.
Oh God, yarg!
Oh, so some of my cousins.
That
I see.
they are ready to continue the negotiation.
Listen to that message now, huh? And essentially just worded in a way, in a very sassy way of, oh yeah, we're gonna be landing soon, so, just in case, space,
I
don't
presume
move a
you're still
lot
on
if that's
board.
not a problem.
Unless you try to actually lift off. Because they just allow you to recess back to your shuttles. Where you can transmit back to your yeah.
Oh, to my shuttles.
Yes,
Oh,
we're all
oh.
ships. That's the problem. We're
I
still
mean, you
on
can
their
try and
ship, so
use
if
the
they
multi-lasers
I-
to
I was just
cut your way out before the raid guards shoot down the shuttles.
yeah, my bad then, because I thought my bad, because it sounded like we went back to our ships. We can then do that. Well, we're still at the shuttles. If we want, we can do it via a simple way of we send to our ship so that they send
Okay,
to Eldari's
you
ship.
transmit back to your ship. They transmit back like it'd be a shame if you trigger the automated responses in the servitors who have the guns trained on you. So stay still. They inform you that the Eldari said in Gothic that their engines are heavily damaged, and unfortunately, they thank you for the warning, but you needn't worry. All remaining power is being diverted currently to life support and essential repairs.
We put out the warning.
The officer in charge also added a personal note as the pilot relays that they were strangely polite considering their earlier attitude.
Reply with
Okay.
good.
Is this an encoded
In theory, yes.
data stream?
Standard Navy encoding. Only 50 years old.
The Enigma code has yet to be broken for the Imperium. So,
I'll inform them if they make any sudden movements with the vessel to be at the ready and take discretionary action.
They tell you it's been a pleasure serving with you.
Oh.
just as God intended.
Yeah. The elf who's escorting you back, he asks you if you need anything. They have relatively fresh grogs they could take out of stasis, still raw, just the way you like it.
Grox?
No,
Orc.
groxes are, I think,
Orcs.
imperial cattle. It was squigs that are orcs.
Oh,
But raw?
Raw, that bit is weird.
I-
You can see him stumbling over like he doesn't understand what you would like. What? I think we could siphon some ethanol off of some of the ship's systems if you prefer.
I don't think any food is required at the moment.
Okay.
Just bring us to the meeting place.
They're gonna bring you to the.
They're
meeting
stalling.
place. When you go in there, there's gonna be a box of cigars with with a stamp of one of the Scintillan merchant houses on it, and the other delegation is gonna enter like 2 minutes
Infinite
later.
oh, so stalling.
Yep.
Yes, I
Shall
think
we,
we should get a
continue?
move on.
We shall.
Sorry about the delay. I was called to the bridge. Apparently, your ships are getting anxious about how long this is taking.
Which is perfectly understandable. Perhaps we should
Yes,
try and keep this
yes,
prop.
yes, we certainly should.
Expedite the
We
process,
wouldn't
yes.
want them to get the wrong idea.
So, how much do we have? Let's go with if we're gonna expedite this, and if we
15
really want to
minutes.
expedite this, let's start. Let's make it 10. See, we've given some information. You wanted to warn us about Arminius, so let's get with that. Tell us what you from your side know about Arminius. Do you perhaps know where he is at this current
We
time?
have ideas of where he's likely to turn up depending on the shape the future takes. We don't have a concrete location. Very
Perfect.
well.
That'll do. So can somebody start writing?
All right. I will.
And yeah, I'm
share
definitely
the coordinates
going
of a star
fast.
system with you. In exchange, we require the word of you and your superiors that any psychic technologies beyond what the Imperium currently possesses that are recovered from there are destroyed rather than used. Is this acceptable?
Would you, seemingly that you have a knowledge of that, please inform us more about these psychic artifacts, just so we know what we're looking for exactly, now how to identify them.
Any advanced teleportarium systems.
We have no
Excellent.
intention of allowing them to be used.
We believe the system is guarded by at least 5 dormant warships from when your robotic servants rebelled against your ancestors. The system in question used to be a shipyard before the system was rendered inaccessible by the rebellion, let's say. And it's one of the few places where Arminius is able and likely to recover these systems. It unfortunately is one of the places where many of these dangerous technologies were experimented on. Now, we will, of course, be maintaining a watch on the perimeter of the system, and should you attempt to remove any such artifacts, fair warning, we will do everything in our power to destroy any fleet attempting to do that.
I'll give them details and a detailed description of the 2 rogue trader vessels associated with the Harlocks, because this is most likely a system the Harlocks will be trying to visit, and if they see them,
They're
to
already
destroy
aware
them
of the Harlocks, but they thank you
on
for the
site.
warning. He's actually gonna pull out like a rolled up piece of parchment and slides it over. I believe these should be accurate in the notation that your navigators use.
What should I roll to
You
inspect
can
them?
try common law rogue traders at -20.
Fair enough.
Can I roll rogue
Yeah, you
traders?
can.
Scholastic roll rogue traders?
You glance at them. Now, remind me, just who did you manage to interrogate? Are you aware of all the extra systems Arminius pulled out of the navigation computer? Out of character.
Wait, is that an in character or out of character question?
Because I don't... I think you had
I'm
the
trying to
beacon
remember.
logs, but you didn't have all the extras that he sort of filed away.
Yeah, because if I remember right, that was the one thing that we didn't do, which was go and inspect Arminius' ship before it got hereticked. But yeah, the only thing I think we have is from what we interrogated from the acolytes, not from the ship
We don't
itself.
have this. We don't have the Hammer of Light access to it to inspect.
Yeah, what did his navigate?
He destroyed what was left on the ship of
Yeah,
his navigation
He wiped it.
records. So we probably don't have any knowledge of the rare systems that he was trying to track down. But this
the
is
shipyard system.
the same system that yeah, I recall this one being mentioned. There was discussion of going to it, but we all assumed it would
It probably
have been destroyed
is,
completely.
which is why the Eldari are willing to share this with you, but that can't exclude if it was, you know, essentially Coruscant levels of settled, that there's some bunker with surviving shit in it.
And while they're inspecting that, which I'm gonna suppose it takes a minute or something, whatever, just gonna ask now. Something I'd like to ask, since that seems to be a recurring theme of encounterings. It seems you two are aware of, well, the existence of these timelines and
I'm
such,
not
correct?
sure that I follow.
You mentioned it just a while ago.
Oh.
So, I'll go with,
No,
that could-
see, traveling between alternate pasts or futures is very difficult. A very powerful psyker, and he takes on that tone like, yeah, you know, a school teacher, can sometimes peer across if they're very strong. An Eldari master can see the futures laid out before him, but that is, I'm afraid, beyond any human.
just give him a,
Magnus.
just give him a grin and be like, though, just trying to get some context. He's more out of character. He's more specifying, you know, the actual psychic powers and
Like
actual
he's-
timelines existing from the
Effectively,
fuckery.
he's saying that, you know, alternate timelines, you, like, that's not something you interact with. What a powerful psyker can do is sort of look ahead and pick out the future he wants to head towards. Yep, exactly.
Basically, what their farseers do.
All right, so different kind of timelines we're working with here, huh? Hey, don't diss
Yeah, he
them.
has no idea.
Maybe in a different time when the Eldari actually know shit or are useful. Just give him a grin and just, okay, understandable.
You should be aware.
One
You should be
guy
aware
playing
that
with
there's
us.
at least one Chaos Warband
Go
that
on.
has become interested in these devices and will be seeking them. I believe Arminius already encountered them once.
Now that
We
interests me.
did get a report of the battle against the
Yep, apparently so did they.
Thousand Suns sorcerer.
It's a pity that our time together is so short. There were other things I wish to share with you, but I suppose we can't take the chance.
I suppose we can. Now, if you find any more information necessary to be sent,
Oh, yes,
since
I
we
almost
are
forgot. He
expediting this
reaches,
process, please.
you know, into whatever he's pulling these out of, pulls out another parchment. Send the ship to these coordinates and transmit over Vox with this code. And the message will be relayed to us. Don't worry if the system seems empty, that is as it is intended.
That's where the craft world is. We jump in. There's 5 battle cruiser class
They wouldn't give away
ships
the
there.
craft world like that. But, you know, a listening post next to a webway gate is a very real possibility. It's just too bored Eldar. It's like,
Sure, yeah.
Another quite, shit, no war translation. Here we go! They power up the webway gate!
Oh, they're just here for message. Okay. Weird, but okay.
I kind of want to really meme on them and just like, you know, all this information. You know, we have something else to offer, guys. It's called Safe Passage. But nah, I'm not saying
No,
that in
given that
character.
you're Inquisition, I assume you're not interested in the attribute that most Imperial forces would exact when accepting a surrender.
More information, perhaps?
No.
Snicker.
However, and he starts listing off like 50 barrels of scintillant brandy,
More information,
20
perhaps?
crates of cigars, you know, just luxury goods essentially. Low volume, high value stuff like small cargo to
No, thank you.
sort of sweeten the deal of letting them live, in theory, if they're ever in this position.
No. No, thank you.
What about asking for
Do you
shuriken
want to?
cannons?
Can you not?
You could, though.
No,
If
I
they
don't
give
use
you
shuriken
one.
cannons.
Exactly.
I don't
I have
use.
ballistical 30.
Who needs shuriken cannons when I have my 2d10 plus 16 weapon? Am I right, guys? Haha. Fuck you, Jackalar.
It's actually
I'll
Very
politely
good.
refuse in Eldari
Well,
in a very
one
differential
last thing
tone.
before you leave, then. Arminius' ship. He has equipped it with many devices from ages past. There is a good chance he will need those for his quest. It would be better that they were destroyed, but since you are unlikely to do that, guard them well.
So you're saying he has fat loot?
No, they're saying destroy the fucking.
Destroy it or please guard it very well.
Hammer of Light.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll nod at that.
that seems to be the bulk of
Now,
it. Shall we, gentlemen?
as they stand up, I assume that we have safe passage out of the system. We will require 6 hours to get underway.
We leave the room. They start warp eating.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna turn around, just
Okay.
tip my hat, and I'm gonna fucking leave.
I leave without saying a word.
As you're leaving this time, Temujin, yeah, the lights are a little dimmer again. Not quite as big a drop as before, but
Let's get
still.
back to it.
And as you enter the hangar bay, you realize that there's maybe half of the Eldari here that there were here previously.
They're leaving
And
through another
the
gate.
ratings tell you that, you know, they just started breaking off in 4s and
Nah.
5s shortly after you left. They have no fucking clue what's happening. Orders, sir.
Once we're on board our ships, I'll tell what ones can hear me that they're most likely doing emergency repairs so that they can leave as soon as possible.
Yeah, you're allowed to leave the ship
And
without
while-
incident, by the way.
I'm sorry, continue. Okay. In the shuttle, essentially, while we're traveling back, it's gonna take, a little bit, so just time for a banter. Now, it'd leave a bad taste in my mouth to leave some Xenos alive, but, well, I'll leave this to, your decisions. Are they getting safe passage or are they being shot down?
A man is only.
We
as good
made
as
an
his word.
agreement. We should let them have safe passage.
Temujin?
He's not gonna say no.
Temujin?
And then
I mean, I did
Adolphus
say a man is
said
only as good as
what
his
he
word,
said, and
didn't
you're
I?
like, I think I'm on the wrong side.
Didn't.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. That's also a very fair point, but
All right.
in the
And,
long run, they could help us out.
Fair. And lastly, Mikkel.
They're enemies of the Imperium, but sometimes there are greater enemies to face.
Very well. All right then. Now, we have some captains to explain to why they're leaving. So, I think I've done a lot of talking back then. So, I'll politely say, not it to informing the captain to not shoot.
Not it as well.
You can't.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it.
You get back on board the ship, head up to the bridge. You go past the officer in charge of boarding actions, essentially, who has a big bruise across his face and whose uniform looks slightly torn and heavily ruffled.
I see you met
On
the
your way to the
Space
bridge, the
Marine.
Space Marine is gonna join you. Just clap, so whichever one of you is the rearmost on the shoulder. Good! You're back! These runts would not let me take a shuttle over to rescue you.
Thank you for your concern, Space Marine, but we were not in need of
So,
your assistance.
we
though it is
finishing them
quite
off?
honorable for you to come to our aid, even if we did.
I'm just gonna
I said
move
not it.
back, stand a bit further back inconspicuously,
I did an in character, not it. Fuck y'all.
I see from your faces that that is not the case.
So we have to.
The
They may
Heresy
yet
and
prove useful as bait,
I'm
if not
sworn to serve the Inquisition for my watch. Even if I don't agree with your foolish decisions. Because that look on his face, like you told his puppy is going, like you told him his puppy has to go
Disappointed
to
with
the
children.
farm. And he's disappointed in you, you know? He didn't expect you to be quite this inquisitorial yet, since you're new ones, apparently. But you get the distinct feeling this might not be the first time he's got orders like this. You clump onto the bridge. The commander salutes you. Welcome back, interrogators.
I'll take him aside.
Okay.
They say their ship's systems will take about 6 hours to repair before they're ready to translate. Knowing my knowledge from my time in the rogue trader fleets, I am aware that they are capable of translating very soon, within about an hour. If they fully dedicate their crew to repairing, which it would seem they are. I must ask that you do not fire
He
him.
takes it stoically. It's obvious he doesn't understand, but he doesn't ask. He just nods. Very well, sir.
Good soldier.
I will relay your...
I'm glad you understand. There will be a
I will relay the
commendation in
orders
your
to the
record.
fleet. We will start backing off. He's gonna relay the order. There's a couple of looks from the officers, but there's like a space marine and 3 inquisitorial assholes in power armor there, and another one who's he has that squirrely look, like he kills people a lot, so yeah.
Well, in a gimp suit of all
So-
things.
Yeah. They don't
What do you mean of all
they
things?
don't
Obviously,
really
against-
object. It's kind of, oh, so that's what my buddies were talking about. That's what it's like to have these cunts on board. And nothing really comes of it. About 3 hours later, sooner than they said, but later than you expected, the Eldari ship kicks on its engines and starts pulling away from you. Does not immediately translate. Yep.
It
And
took
it
3
does
hours?
appear to be attempting to essentially go on silent running and pull away, rather than immediately translating.
Hmm.
I want to be a sassy, kind of just send them like a message of like, safe flight.
The bridge crew does not comment as they watch the Xenos pull away. The commander makes a half-hearted speech about the great victory they won here today, but all the crews lose 1d10 morale for letting the Xenos go, for obvious reasons. And after
Understandable.
that, you're able to continue on the patrol, heading over to the feudal world, which, strangely enough, still hasn't been bombed from orbit by Eldari or anything of the like. In fact, they have no idea the fucks were here.
I have a question. I'm not sure if we were already in that system because I don't remember. How long is it going to take us to travel
It's
to
feudal,
the feudal
and,
feudal world, or feral world rather?
We're gonna say
Feudal.
like 3 weeks to drop down the gravity well, then 2 weeks just sweeping the space near the planet, making sure nothing's hiding there, and then another 3 weeks yeeting out and then heading over to the hive where you can catch passage elsewhere. They will be sending shuttles
So
down,
we're not actually landing on the feudal
but
world.
checking in, transferring supplies. Part of the tithe might be picked up by these patrol ships if they have free cargo space, that kind of thing.
Fair.
Not much free cargo space without the fucking cruiser.
In that time, then, if it's possible, essentially just a pet project, but it's mission related, essentially, since we'll have time, and I don't really want to go beyond the plan. There's nothing singly needed. Can I roll? This might be a difficult logic check, but using the information from what the Eldari gave us of where Arminius might potentially be and calculating his current situation and stuff like that, try and approximate, highest probability of the location he actually might go to.
Let me explain that in more detail then. Make me a logic test and make it... The base is going to be a -20, but the others can help if they have appropriate laws or skills.
Minus
Sure.
20.
I haven't
Ah,
used
And from
knowledge.
chat lore.
I have fucking
Those will help.
Adeptus Arbites
Take
Underworld
a,
and
that
Inquisition.
makes it
That's about
flat.
it.
Do you have anything, Adolphus?
I have logic, road traders, and inquisition.
That will help as
I
well,
think I'm
actually.
+10.
Mechanica,
So
maybe.
roll that +10.
So I could either have a target. I'm just thinking, like, do I roll and have like a target of 87, or do I
It's
just
up
spend
to
a
you.
fate point to get 5 degrees of success?
87.
It's more of a.
Okay. Then
I'm gonna go on just
explain
safe
some
risk on
basics
this
to
one.
you,
I'm
and
just gonna
gonna
spend a
give you
fate
4
point.
questions.
Also, just a note, since I'm going to be spending a fate point anyways, if any of you want to do anything, you don't have to assist, so you guys are free. I
And
suppose.
presumably you're all working through
Those
this
toasts.
together, because it gives you extra like angles or areas that you can sort of cover with your questions.
Okay.
Well, let me explain.
Not
the,
sure if this would be
basic stuff
part of the
first.
question,
So
but
effectively,
what are the
yeah, they list some locations, most of which you already knew about. Prominent among them, the beacon worlds, and the locations that the major events of the Hunt for Harlocks took the original Inquisition team. Reading between the lines, it sounds a lot like the Eldari know, like a list of requirements or technologies or sorceries that are needed to do something, and they're expecting Arminius to arrive at a point where he'll be trying to do that something. Which is, it's implied in the details they give you and the way it's organized.
Yeah, I also just realized that I got fucking memed on. I'm like, there's things on the fucking Hammer of Light that he needs to do. Like, I'm like, okay, what, the fucking Xenotech that's inbuilt? And I'm like, no, it's the combination of the Runecaster and the Teleportar.
I can neither confirm nor deny this.
What? God bless. So with the questions, I suppose I'll go with the original one, which is what I stated. Using Dildari's far-seeing and timelines and things. What does it see? Where on what location specifically is there the highest percentage of him being there? Even if it's like 20%, the highest. That's
sooner
okay.
or later there's a pretty good shot that he will show up there, simply because he needs a ship, and
he
more
needs a ship.
importantly he needs an archaeotech ship, right, with specific technologies, and most of that shit is very hard to get. So I'll throw you a bone. Essentially, he's trying to assemble a MacGuffin list of archaeotech ship components, most of which there's a very few places he can actually get. So the shipyard, there's a very good chance he'll eventually end up going there out of desperation, if nothing else.
All right. I suppose since I have 2 ticks in Psychers, I might actually be able to know this or like connect it to this. So using what the Eldari told us, that he also requires some psychic stuff and things, would he, in his grandiose heresy, actually, be able to, with his own psychic stuff, be able to get those psychic, artifacts? Like, can he imbue something with it, or
Knowing that
does he have to
has
find
made
it?
pacts or enslaved the cat in the past, and that he is a psyker of like a century's worth of experience in the Inquisition, the chances that he can hack a homemade device of some sort like Erasmus Harlock did are way, way above zero. That would take probably longer and be a pain in the dick, but based on what you know about Arminius, that's a very real risk.
Do you guys have any questions? I still have I have one more that's on my mind, but do you guys have anything?
Why would he need this device?
I think that was
What's
already.
the goal?
The
I can
MacGuffin
elaborate
ship.
on that further if you
Isn't
try
that
and
already
read
explained?
between the lines of what the Eldari said and didn't say. If you're sure that you wish to commit a question to this, it's not going to be a clear answer because they left a heck of a lot unsaid.
Fair. It just more feels like looking what we've seen with Erasmus Harlock and the likes. It just feels natural that he needs something like that.
No, I mean, like, how does this connect to the fucking ship that he's going after?
Oh, that. Yeah. Let's go for. Even then, I feel like just because of easier work
Sure.
trial, but sure, let's go for
Let's
that.
let's go with that. I can explain it rather easily. The Eldari, they didn't really mention Svarog, but the implication is, based on everything you know, that well, Svarog is likely to have, if not the full list of MacGuffins he needs, then the ability to make them. Which means that if he can actually get to Svarog, that's his other win condition. It's just that it seems unlikely that he'll actually be able to catch up to it and take it for himself with the way he's been cucked.
Yeah, we really did up. Well, Rel, I want to say we did up, but then I remember, no, it's more of a we did that.
It's more like a me did that.
Still we. So the last question I have, since I think we have 4 questions, right? And this is up for you. If you guys want to take this question as well. Looking at, if there's any notions of that in the Eldari future seeing or any patterns or any things, my question essentially is, does it seem like Arminius is still working, hand to hand, or at least trying to be heavily intertwined with the Harlocks or not? That's my question essentially, because I want to know if he's now, after getting cucked, a solo player, or is there actually still some cooperation? What do you guys think?
That's actually a good idea, yeah.
Jackler?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let's go with that then.
I'm gonna give you a bit of a freebie because there's some things that you don't know about that you would be able to see based on taking this angle. Here's the fun part. They seemed unaware of Harlocks, and they were keeping a good eye on the future. But they can see Arminius, at least for now, and the path he's likely to take. And based on logic, the Harlocks gain a heck of a lot less out of Arminius and need him a heck of a lot less now. And he needs them a heck of a lot more.
Yeah.
So that alliance is unlikely to continue in its current form, and he's not going to be willing to be subservient to them. But what you can draw based on your knowledge of the war is that there's some sort of a cloaking effect that potentially affects how well people can pick up things related to Svarog or this quest in general. Like cloaking them from
What do you mean as a cloaking, like
abilities, for example?
Device?
Because otherwise,
Oh.
It's an
well, Arminius,
antimemetic.
if there wasn't such a thing, thinking about his abilities, he's a seer, that's his primary set of talents. He could track it through the warp and just try and just again and again until he guesses correctly and is in the system where it next comes out. With a normal ship, he would have the power to do this. At least with the way we went with it, with, casting powers as an extended ritual.
So, with that knowledge then, here's a plan then, or rather ideas of plans. We could then go and see about, interrupting him in the shipyard, which may or may not work, because if he can see in the future too, he might, know about us. So it's really iffy. Or we try and do a similar things, pull some resource to try and get a seer of our own and try to guess where that ship might come out of and get there ahead.
That doesn't work. He just said that.
No, that's
But
the thing.
didn't
He
Chris
could
say that
if it
like
was
he can at
normal
least keep
ship.
trying until he guesses
He
correctly?
he wouldn't need to futz around.
Oh, because the
And,
scrying, doesn't.
One last thing, because this is something that I expect, will realize, but... Well, yeah, no. I am going to spoil this, because this is important. The fact that they didn't know about Harlocks is deeply concerning. Because if it's a question of how close you get to Svarog, or things related to it, and they can't see them, that's a bad thing.
Because it suggests that they're really close to being able to reach it.
Either that, or they're not
They
interested
didn't
in Svarog
even
in the
mention
first place,
Svarog
right?
originally. They were
Or
speaking
that
about
they're-
the network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't mention Svarog at all. They talked as if they did not fucking know it
Like,
exists.
some of the
I
things
pointed
they
this
said
out
and
earlier.
the way they said it, it suggested that they are aware, I'm gonna say, based on deeper analysis, that something like that is or might be out there. But that wasn't their primary focus. That's not what they considered to be the main threat.
In before, us going to Mara through that thing actually puts us in a timeline where the Harlocks don't exist, and that's why they don't know about them, and we're getting paranoid for no
The
reason.
condom, the contraception didn't
That would
fail in
actually
this
be a
timeline.
hilarious fucking turn of events.
I mean, once we get to someplace, we could actually investigate that and see, like, does the Harlock dynasty exist right now, or they extinct?
It's still on the original Harlock, the one that,
Who knows?
was an inquisitor who refounded the dynasty. He never retired or died.
Just us crammed, too many juvenats in him, and as healthy as
No,
he
no.
was.
No, clearly, Tammy. Clearly, that Harlock is the fucking head of the Conclave right now.
Looks at
Guys,
the
I'm scared for
fucking
the
Rick
future.
you have there. Is
Literally.
this meant to be your shield, heretics?
Blessed. Just also, since it's gonna take like what 5-7 weeks, do we ever you ever get that heads up from our ship or
Not
anything?
yet. I remember a crit fail on certain war travel
no.
roll before.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's just more of do we ever get a notification that our guys, we may have fucked up
The
with the
Astropaths are
ship. See
currently
you guys in like a
screaming
year.
and ripping what's left of their eyes out, so no.
That is fair. All right then. Let's get to that. Let's get to fuck. What is it even called anymore?
I think it was
Is it gunpoint or is it
It is
Regulus?
gunpoint.
Yeah, I think that's where
Okay.
that's was on the
So
where
a
we're supposed
short
to go.
warp journey later. Let's see how nasty it is. It's relatively calm. After a short, calm warp journey of maybe a week, you drop out and head towards the docks at gunpoint. And yeah, it's gonna be another couple of weeks before you are drawn into orbit around the planet and are able to leave. And after you have found lodgings in the spaceport, you know, in the Navy facilities there, they're gonna pass a message down from your ship that it's a general distress call. From the Silver
spaghetti-o.
Triumph, informing that the message grows garbled, but it does list several times where they think they're at, and their other bits are like garbled. It's like they're close, it's rending the ship, and why is it so playful? Why won't it let us go? You know, things like that.
Oh, so the cat's just saying hi.
The attached casualty list is extensive. At the end, there is just a "we will cleanse the heretic elements on board, praise the Emperor."
Yep, praise the Emperor. God, I love those people down there. I love the Death
Yeah,
Watch.
the death cult.
Oh, is it Death Watch? No, Death Cult.
That's
Yeah.
Close enough, am I right?
Over the
No.
next couple
The
of
deaf
days,
cult are really wonderful.
you get several polite refusals from official Imperial authorities to look for your ship, and the promise of 2 rogue trader houses that they will aid a fellow rogue trader in exchange for a suitable recompense at a later date, implying a lot of zeros. You practically don't have one.
What's our account?
So, shit.
Um,
We have a lot of
there is
information.
a
We need to get back
cargo
to
ship leaving
Scintilla.
from gunpoint towards the capital in about a month, so you can hitch a ride. Interrogator rosettes will get you, you know,
Okay.
basic tickets easily enough. I won't make you roll for that.
Okay, that's fair enough. So we have a month.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm
are you
doing, guys. Oh well, since this world is is this world on like the
Not
on the
really.
main warp routes
Not
or
yet.
fair? Fair.
Uh-huh.
Then I'm gonna do it. A favor from the Inquisition, right? I'm gonna look for heretics.
Look for heretics. Okay.
Of course, I'm fucking gonna look for heretics. But obviously, I'm going for the more how should I say it? Because I only have a month. The sloppier ones. The nobles
Well,
are
I have to be
obvious
fair
choice.
to Demi. We
Do you
have a
want to
bunch
keep
of new
some of
acolytes to
those
get
ratings? You will need, like, this is gonna cost influence if you're just gonna recruit 30 randoms.
No.
There is also
No,
I
like-
remember
killed. Yeah,
something.
we gotta kill them.
It's gonna cost an influence to pull them away from their normal duties, because that all's like, you know, somewhere in the Inquisition at least, and somewhere in the Navy, there's like someone telling the record. No, this dude's kind of asking for a lot, and the word gets around.
Yeah. But what I was going to note, because I think there was discussion of this, and I'm not sure what's going to happen because we have a month. But you said something about we're going to have to like
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
influence between
I
us to
was-
get the
I think the 14
Space Marine on
influence
us.
points that we discussed previously, spread between all of you, is a fair thing to get him to assign to your collective retinue. But you will do that once you get to Scintilla.
Should we?
He's taking passage on the
what's up?
same ship because he has to
Oh,
report in
okay.
as well. In the meantime, he
Fair.
is gonna head into the Underhive and hunt mutants.
See, we're
Okay.
doing our jobs.
I'll help him.
Would there have been enough time to write up a
Easily.
very detailed record of the? Okay. I'm asking
I
before
would
we
say
get to
so.
gunpoint. Okay, then I'll try making sure they don't get
Ooh.
themselves killed like idiots.
Make a willpower roll for me.
Oh,
Oh no, flat.
yeah.
It's a long time to
Any
be
modifiers?
unwatched. Okay, you do black out for a while,
Nice.
but you
Jesus.
come to, and you realize that you are somewhere high up above the hive, and in bed, next to a female form. You have no idea where you are.
Fair enough.
Congratulations, you have an heir in the waiting.
Um,
Gunpoint. That's actually quite fitting.
She starts stirring as the first light of dawn is peeking over the horizon. And she seems surprised to see you there, and she asks you, "Why the fuck haven't you left yet? I thought you were gonna sneak out."
Right.
Father is gonna
Congratulations,
strangle you, you
a
fucker!
noble's wife.
You need to go now! Do you still have the security card?
Right. Probably should. Yeah, thanks. See you.
How much did you drink
I do,
last night?
I
You
think.
said you were
Let me
sober.
check. Probably was.
You know, she's
Not
gonna
enough to
pull you
steer
close,
my
kiss you on the
semen.
lips, and tell, "Listen, I'm sorry.
Never mind.
It was
I'm
really
getting outta
exciting
here.
sneaking around with an Inquisitor, but you need to go now." Okay, stealth roll
Don't
with
have
a
to
base
tell
of
me
120,
70
please.
times.
Yeah, it
I
goes to
should have
flat.
all my equipment technically, so that should be flat because I do have a chameleon line clone.
You-
You,
You
just
nearly give the
barely
game away when
avoid
you
him by
realize you're
hiding
sneaking
in the
out of the
pantry.
governor's residence.
Nah, I did that trick where like I'm literally right behind
Oh,
him.
he
as he's
usually
in the
goes around
hallway,
with at
he's
least
turning
4
around,
guards.
and I'm like literally just turning with
So,
him.
yeah, no, but yeah, like you go into
Fair
the
enough.
main hall, you see the crest, like, okay. Now, those of you. Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna think to myself, shame I can't remember jack shit.
Congratulations. You're gonna marry
By the
into a
way,
noble
after you
family
have
in like
left in
10
your
years'
pocket,
time.
you find a corded piece of wire with 2 wooden handles attached. No.
Oh, you're betrothed.
kind of wire that you go-
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a garrote wire, my guy. I have no idea why you thought that.
You know how his blackouts
The
go.
first thing
Why
I
would
thought
you
of, yeah, that's
assume
a
that
garrote
it's
wire.
something wholesome?
Yeah.
Ironically, that reminded me of a
So,
weird marital tradition
those of
I
you
heard of.
heading
Getting
to
married in the
futs with
first
the
place.
mutants in the other hive, what would you like to roll to have a fun hunt? No, Demi is looking for Heresy.
Wait, all three of you are going to hunt, or?
Yeah,
Isn't like the Space Marine
it's.
also going there with
I think
Jaguar?
Adolphus also was going.
So yeah, the two of them are going.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure they don't get themselves killed.
Fair enough. So y'all literally gonna fucking die, and I fucked a noblewoman.
Sure.
Contrasting.
Can I roll
Contrasting.
weapon skill?
Wait, to
Do
be
I get
honest,
bonuses?
Chris, you should have made me roll fucking weapon skill.
You can roll
Shut the
something
fuck
simple.
up.
Wait, what are we doing?
Wants to roll weapon skill, but it's gonna be flat because if you're trying to power through raw combat potential, you can do that. But let's see how well you actually do. Unless you really badly fuck up, you're not really gonna be under threat with all three of you there. Okay.
I'm gonna go with inquiry.
Take a plus 10.
Modifier?
You have, you have enough influence that you can spread some low-level bribes around
Plus
easily to
10?
find things out. Okay. So, yeah, you do that. You kill a lot of unwholesome things down in the lower levels. A week before you're supposed to leave, a dead fish wrapped in newspaper gets delivered to your doors. Mm-hmm.
A dead fish?
Threat.
It's a fish milk, guys.
No, it's a threat that we're about to become dead meat.
See,
I don't know,
It's,
Jack. I've played with Chris before. This might just be a
see, the
lunatic.
problem is that it's local sushi
Hey,
that
it just
found
might
its
be
way
local
into
sushi.
the Navy barracks where you have officers' quarters on loan.
Yes, exactly.
Looks like some officers need to be executed.
Demi,
for
what would
incompetence.
you like to roll to
Yeah,
find
also,
Heresy?
how did you miss that? Well,
Which
either
one?
interrogation or
You can roll
forbidden lore
either.
heresy.
Depends on whether you're focusing on the really
It
heretical
really
stuff
dep-
or on just finding as much illegal shit as you can. Yeah.
presuming looking for the actual really heretical stuff would be heresy, right? Yeah, I don't have enough time, a lot of time, since it's
Okay.
only a month, so I'm gonna go with that, even though it's the lesser roll.
Yes, but this is gonna be flat. in
This would still be
case
rolled with
because-
int, right? Okay. Understandable. That no calculus logic does not apply. Yeah, I only have that. Okay,
That will give you like 5,
I
right?
could also just spend a fate point,
That will
but
give you like 5, right?
Don't be a pussy, Demi.
excuse me. I'm gonna do that. I want to kill the heretics.
Pussy.
I have a 67% chance. It's not that I
See,
don't like it.
it's
It's just
funny
I'll
you
have
should say
better
that
results
because
with a fate
That's
point.
not enough to get to kill heretics. But you find leads that suggest that there is a trade for those who know the right people in special items, spicy items not available to the public. It's a rumor you overheard between two nobles talking at a party when they thought they were in private. But you weren't able to track down any actual heretics. If there is a conspiracy here, it's either relatively small or well hidden or both.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm also working solo, but that's okay. but
Okay.
good to know.
Then the day of the departure arrives. There is there's a certain amount of scandal because apparently the governor's daughter lost her temper at him and told him that his obsession with his virtue was unbecoming, and either way he was far, far too late.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's
What's that supposed to mean?
It
Is
means I
she
should have
indeed
worn
pregnant?
space condoms.
Okay. Beautiful.
He never protects. Should have let him protect you.
Nah, what can I say? Like, I
So,
got triggered.
I'm
pretty
gonna
sure you're on
need
that bitch.
all of you
Oof.
to make an awareness check once you're inside the shuttle and heading to orbit. Yeah. Mhm.
All specs apply.
what are we rolling? Awareness?
Oh Jesus! I like that
No,
I
that's
still
a bad one.
succeed.
Crit fail.
Huh. Yeah, I have a single fate point left. Fuck yeah, I don't want to crit fail.
So who actually got more, Demi or Adolphus?
Ah, there we go.
Hmm.
7.
I think Adolphus.
Demi got 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So
Adolphus
you
got
sit down.
7.
It's a commercial
Oh, shit.
shuttle. You're
Both of y'all
heading
got
up.
7.
A lot of hopeful people. You know, colonists are hopefuls. I'm gonna make my fortune in the capital. I spent all my money on this ticket. And yeah, both of you are sitting across the other two. You know, across the row, and you just see something in the
Yeah.
underneath the seat, just strapped right under the other two. You think you can catch a faint red light gleaming. Boop. Boop.
Ah, it's a bomb.
Of course it
Do
is.
we see wires or
Can't
anything?
tell.
Is it attached to like when you sit
But,
down and you
you,
have to get up, or is it just?
Well, their asses are in the way, but
Bitch
you
ass.
presume it's probably not a pressure plate. These are like hard metallic seats, so kind of hard to, depress a trigger with that.
Oh.
Since it's a commercial thing, I'm assuming you're not in full power armor, but your smaller tools and your,
Right.
not big boy elephant guns you can have with you. Sure.
Does my
I
summer
assume
count?
none of you
It's
would go
balanced.
entirely unarmed, in any case.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't take my
You
Angelus
have-
bolter, but sniper.
You
rifle,
have like,
yes.
I have a shotgun.
Your
Combat
special
one.
holy technology cargo in sealed containers entrusted to, like the Mechanicus acolytes that are taking the sensitive cargo up to the, ship. So that's safe.
Well, first I'll look around, see if there's anybody, suspicious, or if I notice anything. And well, I might notice
Yeah.
the other
It's-
other individual
like
who
I said,
noticed
it's
be
a
like,
commercial shuttle. There's
hello.
like 40 people in this section with you. Some of them are drinking. A couple of them are playing cards. There's a general jovial atmosphere. This is an event. They're going off-world. Most people never get to do this, So,
Mortez, we gotta get across there. And I gotta try and do something to stop that.
Do you have a copy tool on you or a knife?
I can unscrew the screws, that's about it. And then deal
Well,
with the wiring by hand.
Perfect, we'll do. I'll inform the others. They'll make a meat shield. And yeah, let's just get to defusing. As
Okay,
and
so
yeah, the two of you just
the two
act
of you presumably stand up to
meat
block the
shieldy.
side. You know, the two of you are on your knees, whereas they're standing in front of you. You hear from the other end of the shuttle, but nobody really interferes with you.
Gucci.
Yeah,
Adolphus,
you can help
I
each
think
other.
you're better at tech use,
What kind
so
of
I'll
tools
just
do you have
support you.
available? Okay.
Good
I've
Tools.
got basically fuck all.
Yeah, basically, I do not have a combi tool. I have an
Okay.
I have a grapnel line if that I can just fucking
The
improvise
others
with
are
that.
giving you an opportunity to work in peace, and you do have an aspect, so it's gonna go with Demi helping, with everything taken into account, to a -10 on tech use. Looking at the thing, it's not a small bomb. It's a flat satchel charge kind of thing. Looking at the size, if it's proper explosive, it stands a good chance of making this whole shuttle crash. Yep, exactly.
Sounds about
Because it
right.
will rupture the hull and cause haywire. Alright. So, you said it's -10, and that's after taking everything into account?
Mm-hmm.
If we need a knife, I have one way to improvise. Smash my fucking flashlight and use the goddamn glass.
Do you wish to reroll that? Okay.
I have a fate point, so I'm re-rolling that.
Please do.
Okay.
Hold up. Oh yeah, it's minus.
So,
Okay.
yeah, looking into it,
Nice.
it's essentially military grade Promethean based explosive, but the trigger mechanism is relatively crude and looks homemade. So you're able to easily defuse it. A lot of yeet! And someone has access to military stockpiles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Probably the
planned.
same dude that managed to fucking deliver fish in the middle of military barracks.
And that's
Probably.
probably literally the same person that's also organizing on the illicit trade of fucking military arms. Who could have guessed?
Yeah. I don't. This isn't big heresy, but I'll throw in the report essentially when we get there. That yeah, somebody should check this out. In the next
25
10 to
years
15
later.
years, if that.
Oh yes, gunpoint has turned into a demon world. Digs up report. Oh shit!
I'm doing my job.
But, yeah, you leave on the
Exactly.
transport. It stops over at Regulus, picks up a cargo of probably something disgusting like peaches, and then starts on its route towards Scintilla. Yep.
Peaches.
So what do we do
Ah.
by the time we get to Scintilla?
Well, the trips through the warp
Yeah,
relatively
how
quick,
long is
but
it gonna
each
take?
system that you stop in to load more cargo is another 2 months going through gravity well and loading. So you're gonna be, I mean, let's see,
Yeah.
it's Gunpoint, then Regulus, then 41 Pride, then Iocanthus, then Scintilla. So you're gonna be at Scintilla in about 7 months. Just in... They would.
That's
They-
assuming that they take cargo on every one of them.
Hey, at least we were. Hey, at least we.
Do you
were
let
informed about
the
the ship.
ships authorities know who you are and to pass any... Do you leave instructions to pass any astropatic messages to this ship?
Good question.
No.
That's kind of breaking our,
Okay.
subtlety.
Alright. Then, 7 months later, you You see Scintilla burning.
It's a boy.
Oh.
This is what we call the period of a
The
gender
ship's captain
reveal.
is actually going to transmit after
Oh.
translation that all colonists and hopeful workers that don't currently have a job waiting for them must report to either the Imperial Guard or Navy recruitment offices for assessment of fitness for service. Usually not
I
unless
fell
the
on my
sector
head
is
Pretty
out.
threatened.
standard.
It's not a good sign when they just start telling random, like they usually just round a couple of blocks of hive up. Yeah. Under
No,
those
literally, that is
circumstances,
pretty
yes.
standard when the
Very
sector's
much
under
would
threat,
be.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a bit tacked on to the important bit. The Emperor requires that each of you be ready to lay down your lives to protect his domain, you know. The Emperor protects. Oh, who's that cunt? Demi has guessed. Ah,
Oh, it's fucking Muhammad. Jesus. Wait, no, that's Muhammad and... Okay, I know both of them.
not everyone is like us.
Do you have friends?
I didn't think the
Okay,
prophet
so-
looked that way. Thought he was more legal.
They are,
My
them
Discord be
do their
fucking
stuff.
up.
in any case, yes,
That's
you are
beautiful.
able to draw up to the docks at Scintilla. Once you get the chance to actually look out, it's awful lot of troop transports in docks around here, and okay, that is really distracting, and several Navy ships, freshly recommissioned. Probably from the mothball fleet, since they're not the modern, commonly used variants.
I'm sorry, but Discord
that's
is just
saddening.
a black screen for me now permanently.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well,
wrap
we can
about
hear you,
up
that's all that
about
matters.
now anyway. So, in any case, you are able to
Fair enough.
well, join the lines that are being offloaded, and they're gonna ask you effectively if you have a job or a passport. This writ is from Inquisitor Kagan
Show them our
himself,
inquisitorial
fool!
rosettes.
Okay, but what do you
Well,
do?
I'd thank this
You
hammer.
go through
This
the
is all the
process, or do
passport I
you
need.
extricate yourselves from bureaucracy? Since apparently there's currently about 20 ships in orbit that need crews. Which means, you know, at least 500,000 new recruits for the Navy to service crews. Plus, regiments.
Well, this is an extremely subtle mission. Clearly, we must be
Just
recruited
crash the
onto
ship
one of
into the
these ships and
planet.
then take it over.
Mission success, we evaded notice.
But, yeah. I think the best way to go about this is to try and go up the bureaucratic chain command for a little while until we can find someone who
Okay, I'm gonna
will
tell
be
you
somewhat
right now.
subtle and
That's
then,
not gonna happen. There's like a
you know,
lieutenant at
flash
the
the
recruitment
thing.
station. After that, you're handed off to a sergeant who tells you not to ask questions. You're part of the Imperial Guard now.
Lamau, nice. Legendary.
in that case, then I'll probably just show him my rosette and inform him that me and my
Acolytes?
companions need to reach the hive and
Okay.
reach the inquisitorial base in the hive.
Sure. They're gonna put you in a cell for like 4 hours while they verify your story. And then the Inquisition is gonna send up a stealth shuttle to pick you up. And yeah, you are able to go to the base. You will be informed as to the state of your ship because the messages have been passed on by the Navy dudes in question. One of the rogue traders has indeed found it and is currently helping the ship get ready to be underway. It was not at the coordinates it thought it was at, but they found it in one of the nearby systems. And they'll be wanting to discuss the favor you now owe them.
Right.
Other than that, well, I mean, the ship is down to like 20% crew, but apparently they claim to have suppressed the filthy cat worshippers again. So, presumably all is well. The Inquisition recommends a careful checking of the crew and purging any remaining undesirable elements, but inform you that they really can't afford to give you a fresh officer corps, an experienced one that can actually function without arousing suspicion, since officers in particular are stretched thin, since things are bad. The
How bad?
What do
Like
you
Chaos
mean
War-
your experience is 5 years in the Navy, Mr. Captain?
Chris, how bad is bad? Are there like
there are at least 3
Chaos
warbands
Warbands
renovating through
attacking
the
half the
Malphite
planets or
subsector bad.
something?
And given the distraction, the
Fair.
Orc War over in the Severian Dominate is well, the Navy has sort of had to pull back from there, and the Orc War is busy decimating what remains of the Severian fleet, and once that is gone, you're gonna have a war on 2 fronts, and that's gonna get nasty. Also, the Dark Eldari seem to have taken the opportunity to start just sniping lesser worlds all over the sector and just picking up as many slaves as they can before any Navy ships show up. Yeah, like, all the usual suspects are like...
He was under siege, I get it.
Oh my.
Well, this is
Also, the
convenient. Let's
Mechanicum
just do our
has,
jobs.
diverted a lot of their remaining resource towards things not mentioned. And several of them have suggested that the Inquisition owes them a apology, and by apology it's implied it's the kind of apology that's measured in a lot of goods and resources. Yep. So it's a mess there as well. Like, without the
did?
late
The
worlds, there's
Mechanicum?
no strong center to set the political agenda for the Mechanicum in the area in general. So the remnants of, the late worlds, their fleets, their remaining high-ranking magoses, etc., they're pissed with the Inquisition, are making a case for, you need to fucking make this right or else the Mechanicum isn't gonna back you. The minor Forge worlds are jockeying for position and either committing resource to the hunt for, the STC, or trying to get in good with the Imperium by actually, doing what they're supposed to and helping maintain fleets and war materials. So it's a glorious fucking mess because someone yanked out one of the major pillars of the sector, so the mechanical support is on some serious fritz. So you have a lot of shitty crews on all shitty ships, which will not be getting proper maintenance, trying to plug gaps in defense, because suddenly there's a lot more ground to cover because every enemy that you have is feeling opportunistic and thinking the sector is weak enough to start picking off pieces from, the edges. So yeah, that's the general situation. It's
You
the
guys are
bad
not
guys
wrong.
notice that things are fucked.
Okay. I'd like to turn in my very detailed reports on the fucky shit at, well, currently it's at,
Mara and
what was the
Tusk,
plant,
it was kind
Mara?
of spread between the two of those. And yeah, the Inquisition will take this report and
Oh, and the report about the Navy battle and what the Eldari had to say. Both of those are going into the Inquisition.
yeah,
And
we'll go over the
I'd like
details
to
of
write
just
up the
what you report,
commendation
when, and
for
to
that
whom
fellow.
next session, I think. Since, well, hello, Demi.
Hello.
Did you remember to blush of life?
What do you mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I know when my
Susie.
camera was on. I kind of left it on purpose as well, just for the fun of it.
So, Demi,
Okay,
yeah,
just
the
ignore
sector
this
is
joke.
fucked.
That's fine.
Dark Eldari are raiding isolated worlds. There are 3 Chaos War bands that have quit the Screaming Vortex and are rampaging through the Malphite subsector.
Like they always do.
There's like 20 ships that are currently being crewed with new recruits that are being pulled off in transport ships, including yours. And you spent 4 months not 4 months, 4 hours being parts of the freshly recruited parts of the Imperial Guard before the Inquisition confirmed your identity.
Yeah, me eating is kind of a kind of an accurate way, I
Also,
think,
the
in character as
Mechanicum
well. It's
are
like, yeah,
sort
things
of,
are going to shit. This is just as
the
expected.
remnants of what was, the core of the Mechanicum here from the late worlds kind of have taken the position that, luckily not too publicly, but that the Inquisition fucked them, and the Inquisition needs to make it right with a whole lot of resources. And until that happens, they're gonna make damn sure that the Inquisition does not receive Mechanicus support. The
Man,
minor Forge Worlds are
7 months is
busy
a long
either
time,
searching for
huh,
the
guys?
STC or actually trying
Yeah.
to rise their prominence by being seen to be, actually helping the Imperium. But you have a lot of ground to cover with shitty ships, shitty crews, not enough officers, and not enough maintenance. Because they're literally pulling old hulls out of mothballs to fill the need for crews and ships.
perfect. This is what I like, a challenge, huh? So, my question is,
We'll go over
are we
how
getting
the
flack from the
report is
from
received, I
our
think, next
inquisitors and
session,
stuff like that?
Because, reasons. But you've made it home, and your ship has been recovered and is being repaired and will eventually make its way back here. And that's being done by a rogue trader who's going to want to talk to your rogue trader and discuss the price to be paid for this great service. Now, he doesn't know that you're Inquisition.
Not fucking
in theory.
noticing your fucking planet, kid.
But, yeah. A lot of the people who were hopeful boarding the ship are now not so hopeful, as everyone who doesn't have a job is inducted into either the Navy or the Guard. At least the nobility is getting their
Imperial, kid.
peaches. Oh, right, on Scintilla. The houses you saw circling the drain, they're either gone or destroyed, and two more houses which were strong have been reduced to houses to minor house status, effectively, in the fighting that erupted over the resources of those that went down. And there are maybe 4 or 5 minor houses that are trying to claim, status and influence befitting of a great house. So, normal imperial politics, there's been a little bit of cleansing there. And just to make it extra bit of spicy and flavorful, someone tried to poison the sector governor. So he now has a few more implants and a few more poison testers.
Well, I'm gonna say to the person who's trying to assassinate him,
Oh no, the sector
what a
governor.
fucking pleb. Can't even
The
kill a planetary
top
governor.
guy in charge. Someone tried to yeet him.
Hey, Boo, what will you name the?
You're assuming she's
What will
pregnant.
you name your son?
McGunnery.
Okay, in terms of
Please.
influence, we'll go over the specifics of how much you get at the next session. But considering how you've done, I think something like 15 per person might end up being reasonable. It depends on how you spend things.
So, I mean,
Oh, you're
you
gonna
could
get
say to us we just get 5
Space Marine.
and the Space Marine. Or everyone gets
15's
5.
a lot more per person than fucking 5.
no, it's
Sure.
14.
Yeah, but he said the Space Marine to recruit him is 40 influence, so that's 10 per person.
No, he said 14.
But in any case,
Oh, 14. Okay, then I
like I
misheard
said,
you.
we'll
Yeah,
go
then
over the
that's
specifics
definitely
next
correct.
session, but based on how this goes, it's not unreasonable that you are, after this, going to have enough influence to go for Inquisitor rank. So, given that you have
guess it's
accomplished
time
some
to save
things,
XP,
and some
huh?
of you have gotten yacht along the way, I will allow you to assign a single fate point to a person of your choosing in the team. And 300 XP for this session, since, no real direct threats and Eldari weren't actually trying to fuck you.
Neat. So, how many fate points do you have, Jacklor?
I have 3.
Adolphus?
I have 2 because I've lost 2 in
Okay,
the
Adolphus,
proceeding.
to 3 again.
Fair enough, we give it to
And
Adolphus.
are any of you planning to go for Inquisitor, if that is available?
Yay.
Okay, Demi. Okay.
I definitely am. At
Fair
least
enough.
before we buy the
Alright. Excellent.
Space
I'll
Marine.
keep it. 70.
Shit, how much influence do you need for Inquisitor?
75.
Fuck, I'm 4 away.
You have 15 free
Long move.
influence next session, though.
Yeah, I have 56 influence.
Yep.
Oh. So how much? It costs 1,000 XP to get Inquisitor,
I will
right?
let you. If you're a little
But yeah, I'll
short,
be
I will
definitely
let
getting
you,
Inquisitor
delay
next
actually
session.
buying it,
could
for a
I-
session, so that's fine. But just
One question, can I say some of the things I did was
that's
done
not
by Demi's
really the
character, so
way
he gains
that's
more
gonna
influence
work.
than
You're
me?
kind of a it's a team effort, It's more likely to get you a bullet than him extra credit, because it's like, why didn't you find a way to use him? We know he's not useless. And yeah, it's not about he did this part, he did that part. It's like, what did you actually get done? You got a whole lot of information. You have an idea of where to actually hunt for Arminius. So that's kind of a win, even if it was tough getting there. And frankly, micromanaging your decisions, kinda not something they're gonna bother with, since Ilias still ain't back. Couple of other Inquisitors have fucked off on individual missions that are too sensitive to inform the Conclave, which is, fancy speak for you can't forbid me if you don't know what I'm doing. And, there's...
Yeah.
Things are shaky.
Yep.
Like, at this point, cults are starting to notice that something is up and thinking that, hey, maybe we can succeed or do a fucky right now because no one's looking, and, it's... The Inquisition
The
is
sector's on its
busy,
last legs.
like it hasn't been for a good long while.
So I know we're gonna
Yeah,
do the
there's no
report.
time for a civil war because everyone's going to be busy for the next 10 years sorting this out.
Adolphus, you bitch ass. Chris, I know this is gonna happen during the report, but add a character. How well did we do before we got our ship yowed into the fucking
That
abyss?
wasn't your fault.
Which wasn't really our
You did
fault.
okay. Could have been better. When you add what you got out of the Eldari on top of that, though, that's starting to look pretty good. Especially given that your ship was sort of sabotaged. And the fact that the demonic entity came after it like that kind of speaks well for how close you're getting.
Demons like you, kid. That must mean you're doing a good job.
Okay.
It thinks we're its letterbox now.
Boom. Any impressions or new theories?
Yes. New theories, not necessarily. We just kind of heard warnings most of the fucking time. I mean, yeah, we did give Ali information about where he is, but we still know what he's trying to do. Overall, I'm just kind of glad we didn't end up shooting the place up with the Eldaris.
Okay.
That
Demi,
would have been not fun.
impressions or theories? Uh-huh.
Pretty good session overall. No real theory. I mean, it's kind of like we kind of get the gist already. But I do have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I just realized why we never did this before. We're fighting a demon cat. Literally, holy water is its worst enemy.
That is part of the material.
Why haven't
that
we
you
tried to get
use
holy
when you're
water?
sanctifying your weapons.
Okay. Fair point. But think like this.
I will let you.
A spray filled with water, holy water. Super effective.
I will let you try and improvise a demon bane weapon from a flamer by making a special ammo that's mixed with holy salt water. This will only...
I gotta do it now, guys.
It's kind of
Weapon-
dangerously close to
Weapon
sorcery,
training
but
flame.
I'm gonna say that you can try and prepare weapons or ammo against a specific demon. And that will have either a greater effect or be easier to do if you know enough about that demon
That's nice.
than making a general demon bane weapon. Okay. Adolphus, any impressions or theories?
No, that's pretty nice.
My theory: we need to blow up the yellow field on that fucking homeworld so no one ever fucking reaches
One
it
last trip
again.
into the warp.
one
We
last time.
uploaded the airfield. Oh god, I'm going. Ah!
Yes,
Warp
that
is literally
planet will be
flavor space. It's
fucked.
made out of emotions and,
We will be fucked.
intense feelings.
Yes.
And
Warp
salt
is
and
just
pepper.
Jackalore,
spicy space.
Spices.
Any impressions or theories?
Such a spicy emperor.
The Eldari actually know surprisingly little about what's actually important. Yet they know a
No,
lot
they're
about
just
things that-
withholding a lot. They clearly know about the
They think
homeworld, and they
they're
want to stop
really-
us
like-
from getting to the homeworld because the real threat's the homeworld.
Like they think they're stopping us from meddling in things we don't understand, but in truth they're meddling with things they don't understand, which is probably what makes them
I
meddle in
mean,
these
let me
things.
put it this way, Jackalord. They ain't
Yeah,
gonna tell you
that's how
anything
the
you
Eldari
clearly don't
normally are.
already know, because that would mean encouraging you. Okay. In any case, I think that's everything. So, say goodbye, everyone. Bye, everyone.